About 6 months ago, Redstar introduced a 60-year anniversary model of the Seagull in bronze. Now, not only did that watch sell out in no time, but there was also quite a bit of feedback from the community. And because of the overwhelming surplus in demand, these guys actually listened and have made this particular model based on that feedback. So, what's different? Well, first and foremost, this thing's got Lume. Secondly, it's not limited. Now, as far as the look of this watch and the colour palette, I think they've done it right. But that said, it also does have quite a few niggles, which I want to share with you today. Let's check it out. Now, the feedback that was given from the majority of the community was this. Why not combine the Lume from their popular stainless steel version with the popularity of this bronze model and offer it in one watch without any limited editions and all that jargon? And that's exactly what they've done. And you know what? They have done it very well. Now, when I say very well, it's executed nicely and marries up in accordance with its design cues of the watch, but don't expect a torch or a flashlight as far as intensity goes. Now, the handset's pretty decent, but those small lume plots around the dial, they might struggle to keep up. And I'll show you guys a lume shot shortly. Now, Redstar has sponsored this video and I don't have to send this watch back, so I'll leave all the links in the description section so you guys can check them out in your own free time. And looking at the specs of the watch, these are the dimensions that I actually measure. You've got a 38mm case diameter with a 45mm lug to lug. That case height I measure at exactly 14mm with a lug width of 18. Now, that crown is a 6.8mm signed push-pull crown. The watch offers 30 meters of water resistance, and the total weight on the supplied strap I measure at exactly 65 grams. Now, on the wrist for a 38mm chronograph, the watch wears well. As you can see, that 45mm lug to lug, there is no overhang. It does, however, sit a tad proud because of that double dome sapphire crystal and that exhibition caseback. Now, looking closely at the watch's design, you can see there's a sapphire exhibition caseback. And behind that caseback is the Seagull ST1901. It's a manual wind movement, it features a swan neck regulator, it beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour with around 45 hours power reserve. Now, don't expect exceptional finishing with Geneva stripes, Cote de Genève. It's not what this watch is about. It's about offering a mechanical hand-wound chronograph at a relatively affordable price. And speaking of that chronograph, as you can see, it's running at the moment. There's a nice healthy snap as you start and stop it, and instant snapback. So functionality wise, the watch is running flawless. Now, looking at the sapphire crystal on this watch, it's got a double dome sapphire crystal on the front and a sapphire exhibition caseback. And that front crystal has the slightest hint of blue AR. In usage, it seems to be doing a very good job. I've not had any complaints, and the dial has been legible and easy to read under a variety of lighting situations. Next, if we have a look at that strap, it's a two-piece strap in beige colour with a red stripe. It basically matches the watch's design colouring. It also features a rose gold plated tang buckle. Now, before I touch on any gripes of this watch, let's have a look at that lume. The watch offers superluminova on the handset as well as those lume plots. And if I shine my UV light on the watch, you can see the handset glows green and the lume plots blue. And that's very cool because of the difference between BGW9 and C3. Now, when I switch the lights off, the colour of the lume that you actually see is green, which I think suits this piece perfectly because it's harkening more towards a vintage feel. And getting a close look at that dial, you can see it's a very clean layout. You've got their applied logo, 21 jewels, your subdial's nicely placed, just the most minimal text, which I think suits this watch very nicely. And lastly, the price. The watch comes in at €439, which includes 2 years international warranty and free shipping worldwide. And on that note, what are my gripes of this watch? And first cab off the rank, the watch does sit a little bit proud. I measure 14mm to the top of the double dome sapphire and to the bottom of the exhibition caseback. So considering the shorter lug to lug distance of 45mm and the fact that it's a 38mm watch, it might look a little bit stubby on the wrist. So bear that in mind. Second gripe, that tang buckle. It's not bronze, but instead rose gold plated. Now it looks good, but when the bronze patinas and starts to change colour and go a darker hue, that's going to remain the same. So there might be a bit of a mismatch there in several months from now. And I understand why they do that. It's probably so that tang buckle, it doesn't oxidise against the skin at the rear of the wrist. But just putting it out there nonetheless. Next gripe, as was with my previous version of this watch, the finishing of that movement. Now it's not the best, as to be expected from the ST1901. There's tool marks here and there, but on a positive note, they're only really visible on the macro. The naked eye pretty much misses all of these imperfections. So what you see with your eye is a nice mechanical movement. It's quite pretty, but just don't get too close. Now this piece is not limited in number, as the 60th anniversary model was. However, that said, to make you guys aware, there are only 275 pieces available on launch day, and they've got no set date for the next batch. That could be taken as a potential gripe. If this watch sells out again, you will be able to get it after the launch, but no idea of time frame, so bear that in mind. Another gripe for me, guys, is that price, €439. It's not inexpensive by any means. You're getting a very nice looking watch. From what I've experienced, it is mechanically sound. It feels good, it operates well. But the whole idea of Seagull with his mechanical chronographs was to be an inexpensive watch in the market. And €439, it's not cheap, but it is still cheaper than any other mechanical chronograph in the market. And probably my last gripe, well, it's not a gripe, it's more of an observation. The strap. Although it looks great, it'll require a decent break-in period as that bolstering is a tad thick initially, and it'll have the effect of pushing the watch head up on the wrist. And that's pretty much it, guys. These are the observations I found of this latest release from Redstar. So if you missed out on the bronze edition of the 60th anniversary model, they've re-released it in a non-limited model with the addition of Lume, a very nicely colour-coded setup, cleaner dial, a little bit more of a sporty look due to the fact that this has Lume. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'll leave all the links in the description section. If you're keen on this watch, check them out. Seagull 38 in bronze with Lume. Again, a model that's been released because of the feedback from the community from that first edition. Hopefully this can satisfy a few more wrists. Thanks again for watching, be well, and we'll see you in the next one.